To solve and, of course, address this issue of which one is better, the island rental market is more profitable than the mainland rental market, or the mainland rental market is much more profitable than the island rental market. There's been a lot of argument, a lot of description, a lot of controversies concerning this. So this is why we are going to today be talking extensively on the major differences between the mainland rental market and the highland rental market. Ensure you watch this video to the end. I'm sure you don't want to miss every part of it, because this video will help you make an informed decision on where you should pitch your next real estate investment. Once again, welcome to Property Matters, and I'll see you immediately after the short timeout. Don't go nowhere. So you're welcome back to this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, I want to say a very big thank you to you. And of course, if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the best real estate YouTube talk show video here on YouTube. This is Property Matters. I help you invest in the best real estate investments in the beautiful city of Lagos, Abuja, and other parts of Nigeria. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking extensively on the differences between the island real estate market and the mainland real estate market. And the part I am going to focus essentially is the rental market. There've been a lot of conception, there've been a lot of beliefs, there've been a lot of views about these two locations. Why a lot of people believe that one location is much more preferable or much more profitable than others. A lot of people have their own conception, decision, mindset, and of course this obviously has shaped their investment decision. So today let's talk about the major differences, and let's talk about what you should know if you are pitching your real estate investment in any of these two. Let me start by saying that both regions are very, very fantastic. The mainland is fantastic, the highland is fantastic, but what are the major differences? I think the first thing I should be talking about is the lifestyle. Now, when you look at the lifestyle of people that resides in the Lekki axis, the Ibeju axis, the Untitled axis, the Ibeju axis, the Victoria axis. Now, there's this general conception that most of the people that resides in this place prefer a flamboyant lifestyle. In fact, there is a general concept and belief that people who reside on the island are billionaires, they are bourgeoisies, they have a lot of money, to throw around. And that's why sometimes you would notice that a 2-bedroom apartment in Lekki and other, parts of the island could sell for as high as 120, 150, depending on the developer selling. So the lifestyle is a major difference, and what has informed this lifestyle is because of the categories of people that resides on the highland. And this is why life on the highland is very, very expensive. Now, when I talk about life, most of the facilities, the gadgets, the food stuff that is being sold on the island, most of them are not produced on the highland. Most of them are shipped from different parts of for food stuff, K2 My12, Oyingbo, Ijebu, and the likes. So because of the fact that majority of these things are not produced on the island, they are being shipped, and of course they have to consider the cost of transportation, delivery, and the likes. And that is why lifestyle on the mainland is very expensive. Now, this obviously has also affected every part of their life. So it's not just about the flashy cars they drive or the categories of people. So if you must, reside on the highland, depending. Now, when I talk about highland, a lot of people have also included Ibeju Lekki to the highland. So I'm not here to talk about whether Ibeju Lekki is part of the highland. All I can say basically is that if you're coming to the highland or you're coming to Ibeju Lekki, you still have to drive through the highland. So to an extent, I will say Ibeju Lekki is an extension of the highland. So I'll say it is maybe Lekki 3 or Lekki 4. the lifestyle. The next thing that is the major differences, okay, in the rental properties between the mainland and the highland is what? The development that we have. Now, I'm going to be giving an insightful explanation in the course of this video, and my fear basically is that I may not be able, to touch most of these important points, but in my subsequent video I'll be able to elaborate. Now we'll talk about the development. Now, you will know that when you have visited the place of Ikeja, if you have been to Maryland, if you have been to Surulere, if you have been to Yaba, if you have been to some places on the mainland, you will agree with me that they don't have the issues of periodic flooding once it rains. Now, this is due to the fact that the development that we have in Lagos today did not start from the highland. Or a lot of people have, share their own opinion and thought and conception concerning this. But the reality is that the mainland witnessed development before the highland. Now, most of the places that people are residing on the island right now are still experiencing some places, okay? When I say places far back, by extension, some places in Naija, some places in Chiongotedo, the Ogombo axis. When you go further to the places of one or two places on the Awoyaya axis, you'll understand basically that some places don't have good road network. But if you have been to the Ikeja, if you have been to Surulere, if you have been to Yaba, if you have been to, please help me with the information, Ijanopaja and the likes, most of these areas don't experience such situations. Why? Because development started from the mainland and by far extension is going to some parts of the developing place. So in terms of development, the mainland has very much more developed. In fact, it will be a sin, okay, for you to go to some places on the mainland and experience, all these kind of things we do. So in terms of development is on the mainland. Now let's talk about infrastructure. Now, I will agree with you that 60% of the businesses, 60% of the industries are located on the island. In fact, you'll find out that top companies, top banks, top facilities, or top industries if they don't have their headquarters on the island, they will certainly have their branch or their major operational center on the island. Now, the reason why, the island for some people as a place of preference is due to the fact that many people hire, good, well-paid and mouth-watering job offers to the island. So that is why they've been, a large influx, of people, from the mainland down to the highland. So a lot of people are coming to the highland because they believe that there are businesses here, there are opportunities here. I can get a job, I can sustain myself, I can even upgrade levels, or those who are looking for connection and the likes. Of course, most of the celebrities, your Instagram celebrities, your Instagram's comedians reside on the highland. So in terms of industries and some work, they are also on the island. That is not to say that we don't have the same thing on the mainland. We also have it on the mainland, because when we are making analysis, it is very critical, that we balance it. Now, let's talk about the demography. Now, you'll understand with me that because of the lifestyle, because of the industry, and because of opportunities, most times that are perceived to be on the highland, a lot of people like expatriates, high income earners, top business moguls, always have places or a home they can call their home on the island. So for some time, I've seen that top dignitaries prefer to stay on the island. And of course, the middle class, although some other people out of preference may also choose to stay on the mainland. So we have business people on the island, more on the island, business moguls, expatriates on the island, and also a few on the mainland. Now, why do we now have preference for the highland? The first thing basically, like I said, is that the highland basically is considered as a place of opportunity. And that is why we have large influx of people there. However, there are some people, even if the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria decided to shift his operational center to the highland, some people will choose not to move. So let's talk about how this is affecting rental properties. Now, if you are making your choice of rental properties, you should not only look at people who are seeking business opportunities only. You should look at it or give a holistic approach to what is visible and to what profit your investment. For instance, the major institutions, there are several of them, but I'm going to mention a few because of my time. University of Lagos is in Akoka, Yaba. Federal College of Education is Akoka, Yaba. We have Trinity Universities, we have LASU, we have Yaba Tech, to mention but a few. So, if you want to diversify your real estate investment, if your target, okay, is to earn consistent rental income, okay, then you should not just invest only on the island. Go to the mainland. Go to places where we have educational institutions, financial institutions. And that is why today, if you have visited places like Yaba, Maryland, Surulere, Ikeja, and its environs, you will understand that in those places, rental income is even higher than some places in Songotedo, Ibeju, and Awoyaya. I will explain. Despite the fact that there have been large influx of people coming to the highland, some people still prefer to stay on the mainland. Why? Because most of these industries, like for instance, Ikeja is on the mainland, Oshodi is on the mainland, Mount 12 is on the mainland. Now, for those who want to maintain a moderate lifestyle, those who don't want to overshoot their expenses, regardless of what might be on the mainland, on the island rather, some people will still choose, okay, to reside. Now, that is not to say that they are not people, we don't have people who are residing on the mainland, okay, and are not working on the island. And that is why locations like Yaba, Surulere, okay, places like Ikeja and Victoria Island, Victoria Island is on the island, Ikeja and the likes are the central. That means that from Ikeja, from Yaba, from Surulere, there is a close proximity for you to access the island regardless of where you're going to. This is why property prices on these axes are very, very expensive. That means that you can still do your business on the highland and still maintain your home. So you need to understand what are the differences. The number one differences is that rental prices on the island, in some places on the island, okay, is not compared to places like Yaba, Victoria. Why do I keep mentioning Victoria Island? Yaba, Surulere, Akoka, okay, and other parts of the highland. The rental value are not the same. So, according to my research, I have seen people rent studio apartments in Yaba, most especially in the University of Lagos axis, for 800 and 900,000 per annum. If you are renting that amount of, if you are taking that amount of money, okay, to rent an apartment, 800 and 900 may get you a 2-bedroom in some part of Surulere, some part of Songotedo, Awoyaya, if it's an old house. So talking about rent, some places on the mainland has higher rent propensity to the highland. Let's talk about the property types. Truthfully, we have more new houses, new architectural master plan and piece, all those modern maisonettes, apartments, terraces. We have them more on the island than on the mainland. But let me also warn you that mainland real estate developers are also putting that into consideration. So in terms of house typologies, we also have it both on the mainland and on the highland. The next thing you also want to look at basically is amenity and lifestyle. I've discussed that, and demography. So the conclusion basically is that both areas are profitable. Both areas have future. Both areas have prospects. The summary of everything is that if you have 3 rental properties on the highland, you have it at Songotedo, you have it at Abramade Soya, if you have it at Ogombo, do well to also have it in Gaba, have it in Surulere, so that when the rental income begins to flow in, you begin to assess the differences and build wealth for yourself. So I will not conclude to say mainland is better than highland or highland is better than mainland. The question basically, or what determines rents basically, is the lifestyle that people want to live. The number 2, their preference. So some people prefer to stay on the mainland and work on the highland. Some people prefer to stay on the island and work on the island. So everything is based on preference and everything is based on what? Priority. So that is the major difference between the highland rental market and the mainland rental market. So I'm going to be doing a further video to give you the indices and every other thing. But this is where I'm going to draw today's curtain. Thank you for following. If you have further questions, please let's interact in the comment section. Give us a thumb like, subscribe, and of course share this video. Let us interact on the comment section. See you. Bye for now.